Today's lesson is follow path animation. We're going to be using the spaceship that we used previously from from a previous lesson. If you want to kind of check that out, super simple, about a 10-minute video. We'll be using this to follow a path and then incorporate some of the other lessons in parenting also, so it can have its own animation. All right, so first things first is let's create the line that it will follow along. So I'm going to go to the top viewport, but before I do that, let me turn on my screencast. All right, I'm going to press number 7 on the numpad to be viewing this from the top. I'm going to add a curve and circle. We'll start with a circle, then I'll expand this one here so that the spaceship can kind of roam around a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to hit tab right here. We'll probably pinch this 2 points right here just so that it doesn't follow a kind of like a circular motion. So it's kind of like it's patrolling an area, kind of like so. All right, and let's rotate the camera. All right, so it's kind of on the same level as the spaceship. All right, and what we'll do is we want to position the spaceship to where you want to kind of get it to start. So with a circle, I think the this vertex right here or point is the starting point, and we can position it right here. So I'm going to select the spaceship. Okay, and as you can see, it's not joined yet, so I'll just simply join this. I don't need to animate this independent of this one. We're just gonna make it go around. So Control J to kind of join the two together. Okay, and let me see here on normals, click on auto smooth. Okay, and it should be good to go. So I'm going to go number 7 again. I'm going to go to my move tool and move this right there. Okay, so we want the path to be the parent, so we're going to shift click the path last, right, kind of from the previous lesson. Control P, and we're going to do follow path right here, and when I tap the space bar, it just simply goes around. All right, so let's take a look at that one. I'm going to go to the animation tab right here so we could actually see here what it might look like rendered, and this is our working environment. When you select a follow path, you have to go to the curve right here. The path animations right here. By default, it's 100 frames. Okay, so if I change that to 250, which is the same as our timeline length, then it will just go slower, of course. Okay, and it will it will adjust. Okay, evaluation time is simply the position in time where it's at, so you can kind of change this to offset where it starts. Okay, but I'm not going to do that. We're going to leave it as is. We also have this follow check mark that you notice right here. Let me go to the top right here. You notice right here that on the curvature right there, it's actually following, right? It's actually rotating. It's pivoting on those moments right there. So if I uncheck that, it just kind of hover and slides around. Okay, so depending on what you want to do, especially when you create a path where, let's say you put a vehicle and it needs to bank, let's say like on a NASCAR oval racetrack, you want it to bank, then that follow would definitely be something you want to put. Okay, but for now we're just kind of demoing this as is, and we're not going to change anything. So that's it for follow path animation, but you're kind of limited at this point. You're not going to be able to give this spaceship some other things to do other than follow this one. Okay, that's when we need a parent, so that we have to parent the spaceship to an empty, make the empty become the child of the path, and the spaceship will be independent. Okay, so we can do other things with it. So let's take a look at that one. So I'm just going to go to frame 1, which is the beginning. Okay, and what I'll do is Alt P or Option P. I'm going to clear the parent. Okay, so what I'll do is I'm going to add an empty. So an empty is simply a non-renderable object in Blender. Other programs, they call it a null. So we're going to go empty, and you can pick, you can change the shape, doesn't matter. I'll go with a cube right here, so we could see it, and it's it's basically, we're going to position this around the object here. Okay, let me turn on my screencast for the animation tab. All right, then I'm gonna kind of eyeball this, and then just kind of make sure that it's kind of centered to our object. I could snap it to that using your snapper, but it's fine. I'm gonna go number 1 right here. Maybe move it up a little bit. That's probably fine right there, so that it's on the same kind of level as the path. All right, so what we'll do is that we'll select the spaceship first, then shift click the empty. Okay, last, Control P. We want object. All right, so nothing spectacular here. We're just going to select the empty right here. Wherever I move the empty, the spaceship follows, and then when I select the spaceship, it's got its own independence. All right, so now, instead of directly parenting the spaceship to the pad, we will do that with the empty. So I'm going to select the empty, shift click the pad, Control P to parent object. So now, same old boring one. Okay, the follow is in check. So if I put on follow right here, we'll actually do the orientation right there, so it's not just kind of hovering. But let's uncheck that for now. All right, so now what is the advantage of this? Well, now we have options for this. We can now animate the spaceship independent of the path. All right, so let's start with something simple. Maybe rotate this spaceship. Okay, just kind of rotating nonstop. All right, so we'll do that. Let's say it does a 360 in, let's say, 50 frames, right? So let's since we have 250 here, so it's something divisible. So I'm going to go back to frame 1. All right, I'm going to go here. So that will be the z-axis rotation, right? So it'll be z-axis. So we're going to give it a rotation like that. Okay, and we're going to go to our item right here. So the z rotation is at 0, so we want it to be there. So we're going to right click this, insert a single keyframe. Then we go to frame 50. Okay, and then we'll go 360 on this one, so just 360. So if you want it to go the other way, you do a negative number, but I'll just do positive on this one. 360. Okay, and then I'm gonna right click, single keyframe. So now it'll just do its it's rotating. Okay, so if I want to make sure that that kind of repeats, I select the key, Shift E, make cyclic. All right, so it just kind of does it non-stop. There it is. So now we have kind of like we're not clicking follow, remember, on this one. Okay, so but if we click follow here, it'll it'll kind of compensate out of it. It doesn't look like it's hovering because you see that kind of slowdown. So we're just going to take that off. So we just kind of see this one, just kind of, it will do its thing going on. All right, so what else can we do with this? We can actually make this spaceship go kind of up and down while it's hovering. Okay, so let's go to the front right here. Okay, let's go to frame 1. All right, so if I go to my move tool, select the spaceship. So let's say we want it to, we can make it start right here. So that will be z-axis, right? it'll be z-axis right here. So I will go right click, insert single keyframe, okay, and then we're gonna go to 25 so that we can go. Actually, let's go to like 15, and then we'll go the other one 35. Okay, so we'll go 15, and we'll go up a little bit, just a little bit. Right click, insert single keyframe. We go to frame 35. We move it down a little bit. Right click. And then on frame 50, we want it to go back to the line, which it will do since we got no other keyframe right there. No. Let's go to our frame 1. Let's just copy this value. Okay. So whatever this one is, this is when it didn't move. So I'm just going to Command C or Control C to copy it. Go to frame 50. Paste it here. Okay. Press enter. Right click. Insert single keyframe. So there it is. So it's kind of doing its little hover. Okay. Now I will cycle the motion of going up and down. All right, so we can just go. I'm gonna go press A right here to select everything. Even though we cycled the other one, it doesn't matter. I'll just kind of override on top of it, right? We cycled the rotation, so I'm gonna go Shift E. So I press A over here to select all the keys for the rotation and both up and down movement. Shift E. Make cycle. Okay, so now let's watch this one. So it's just hovering up and down. Kind of hard to tell on the camera right here because it's kind of subtle, but so we have added up and down movement on the spaceship. Okay, and we added the rotation as well. All right, so this should kind of explain to you guys how follow path works. So you can pretty much parent anything to that one. It will follow along the line, of course. And if you want to add secondary motion to the object, you have to use a parent. Let the parent do the job of following the path, and then give your object, or in this case the spaceship, independence by animating it separately from the empty, which is the cube, as its parent. The same thing for the bouncing ball. Now that we have parented the ball with an empty, we can also create the follow path, and it should follow along. All right, so for this one I'm going to go number 7. Let's go to a solid mode, and I will create a path. Curve, let's create a path right here. So this will be just a straight line. All right, if I press tab, there it is. So just kind of curve this along so it's a straight kind of, well, not a straight line, but not a, it's an open curve is what I meant, sorry. And it's not a closed curve like the circle. So just kind of, well, let me add another one in there. Right click, subdivide. I just want it to kind of curve in a little bit. Maybe add another one in there. Remember, each point or node is calculated as distributed as the same distance. So if you pile in multiple points right there, it slows down in that one. Okay. So, and it will do it in 250 once we adjust it to 250. Well, let me just show you that. So I'm going to add a bunch right here. So right click, subdivide, and I will actually pile those a little bit closer there so that you guys visually see when how the program interprets each segment as the same kind of distance, regardless of whether you pile them or not. Okay, so let's go to the front right here, and then I will move my path right here, kind of same area as that one. I'm going to select the helper number 7 right here, and just kind of position it right there where it starts. Okay, so let's turn on all our kind of gizmos and whatnot. So select the helper, shift click the path, Control P, object. Okay. Oh, sorry, not object. Follow path. What was I thinking? All right, Control P, follow path. Okay. All right, where's the playback? All right, so we just have to change it to 250, so it'll be a slow moving one. Pad animation 250. It will stretch it all the way, so let's watch it from the beginning. All right. Oh, went through the. Did I went through the wall? I think so. So let me. And you can make adjustments to this, so it will just. All right, in real time, it will not ruin the. And I forgot to add spinning animation or rotation animation on this, but that's fine. It's for the pad animation lesson anyway. So there it is. We do have the follow check, so at least the ball is following the orientation. It's still pretty close there, but you get the point. All right, then right there, I'll just kind of. All right, so again, follow pad animation using a parent so you can have your independent animation on the ball and whatnot.